Welcome once again. This is News Tonight at 10, and my name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango to take you through what's making headlines this evening. Straight away into the bulletin. Minister of State for Public Service Mary Grace Mugasa has thanked President Yoweri Museveni for choosing her among the many by appointing her to cabinet. Mugasa has this Friday held a public Thanksgiving ceremony in Kikube district, and the event was graced by President Yoweri Museveni.
Hoima Diocese Bishop Right Reverend Vincent Kirabo has led the Friday 23rd May 2025 Thanksgiving Mass of State Minister of Public Service Mary Grace Mugasa. The Mugasa family has organized this Thanksgiving to celebrate life and elevation at an event held at Chabayanja in Kikube district.
Isetwe na mwana na moyo muikirire gwasiri mukeo.
Prime Minister Rubina Nabanja, Ministers Matia Kasaija, Muruli Mukasa, Balamba Rukahara, Huda Olero, Godfrey Kabyanga, Jennifer Namuyango, Fred Byamukama, among others, attended the Thanksgiving Mass. Others included IGP Abbas Byakagaba, CID boss Tom Magambo, Bonyoro Queen Omugo Margaret Karunga, and other religious leaders.
The word minister means service. You are called to serve the people of God. You are called to serve the nation.
The President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, graced the ceremony as the chief guest. On a lighter note, Mr. Mugasa served her guests, among others, a cross-cutting entertainment. Minister Mary Grace Mugasa was excited to host the celebration, and the president as well.
Aloysius Mugasa Omtwes Adie Rugai. Kando baba muiwa wa abasita n'abaana baitu musembere hano. Abamuti babamanyire, abamuni babamanya musembere hano. Mwanguhe
Bale kumuha obugatwa obwihanga lya Uganda. Ninkuraganiza nkutujja kwongera kumusagika akukore kurungi kandi akore hingaleni.
Oza kusima mukama wange president habwo kwikiriza abantu babunyoro kukora naye mu government yawe kutandikira kimu hali nyewe prime minister wa Uganda, omukuru Kasaija minister wa finance, abana baitu ba ministers, aba polisi na abandi bona mutero mu ngaro bantu babunyoro muzetu kuraganiza tubairemu hali omukafu tujja kukora titwakuswaza.
And thereafter, President Museveni was invited to address the gathering, which gathered in its hundreds.
Ogwa okusima kwa mkamwana wange Mary Mugasa. Abokuba Mugasa mwiho wange.
Museveni stressed that a peaceful country is a responsibility of all Ugandans.
Ati nkoze kurungi okuleta abantu bano bona ushobora kubaza nabo. Ibyo kushobora kubaza nabo nuko biyicucya ngo okwebeberensi okora imirimo yensi ukutarubanizamo.
He further reiterated his support towards the realignment of the UPDF operations, notably the recent UPDF Amendment Bill 2025 passed by Parliament.
Nida kushima ba member wa Parliament hariho ikizibu abana batakumenya kibakora kibabire baresire aba opposition nibatomera n'ingano bakozesebwa abanyanzurwa ba Uganda.
Museveni, who happens to be the country's wealth creation crusader, tipped Bunyoro sub-region about the 4-acre model agriculture.
nkarora bamugase bari gukora abo family yo hatubaguda bari kurungi hano.
Just like he has always emphasized wherever he has gone, Museveni maintains that it is through wealth creation, industrialization, city and services that Uganda will move to the next step.
Thanking God for the gift of leadership and for the gift of President Museveni. He has appointed me a minister ex officio. That is very uncommon to many people. I want to thank him for honoring me and my family, for allowing us to be our chief guest today.
Mary Grace Mugasa is a mother and family member who was picked from her private life in 2021 to the cabinet of Uganda, where she currently serves as the Minister State for Public Service. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Congratulations, Minister Mary Grace Mugasa. Now, the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, has been elected unopposed as the National Resistance Movement Chairperson, Veterans League for Katakwi District. The announcement for her election was made by James Otilem, the Katakwi District NRM Registrar, after the other three contendants decided to withdraw from the race at the last moment.
The Vice President, Jessica Alupo, has been elected unopposed as the National Resistance Movement Chairperson, Veterans League for Katakwi District. The announcement of her win was made by James Otilem, the Katakwi District NRM Registrar, after the other three contenders, including Private Charles Ikabat, retired Colonel Basil Omodoi, decided to withdraw from the race at the last moment. Vice President Alupo says the election exercise was conducted freely and fairly, reflecting the core principles of the NRM. She urged all delegates to stay peaceful and united, regardless of the election outcome.
The Katakwi District NRM delegates electing me unopposed as the chairperson of the NRM Veterans League in Katakwi District. As you have seen, the exercise is free and fair. As you can see, the exercise demonstrates the core principles of NRM, and for this particular case, democracy is what the NRM government believes in, for the people to choose freely their leaders. I also appeal to them to be very peaceful during the course of the election, after the election, and when they return to their villages, to keep united regardless of the outcome of the results. Keeping united will make us work very peacefully, will make us strengthen the NRM party, and will make us transform our district and indeed the country very quickly. That demonstrates that the people of Uganda have confidence in the NRM party. And that demonstrates that the NRM party and government has groomed leaders in different categories.
The candidates who withdrew from the race acknowledged the importance of respecting the voices of their superiors within the army and asked Ms. Alupo to advocate for the veterans to access government programs.
I've decided to withdraw and give that chance to Mama Jessica Alupo to continue with the post, being a vice president, and also she's a capable woman. She can do much. She even connects us with the national team of the NRM and also the veteran affairs officers. So she's now taken from here and I've given her, in fact, in my manifesto, that let her take care of the widows, take care of the orphans, and look at veterans affairs.
Time will come, and we have agreed that I will get that position next time. There was no pressure. That is what I said as the UPDF office. You are not allowed to drive. This is your election. Somebody can pick interest that let me decide to go and pick a form and I consent for this. And if you realize later that to protect the image of UPDF, somebody can decide to this.
Over 600 delegates took part in the elections for women, youth, veterans, elders, entrepreneurs, and workers' league representatives across the 20 sub-counties and town councils within the district.
Now, a hot contest has ensued among NRM party members vying for different positions in the party's district structures in Kampala. Contenders engaged in negotiations to decide who wins the positions after voters found it hard to decide the winner through voting exercise.
Honorable James Mbahimba polled 948 votes as Dr. Crispus Chiyonga polled 519 votes. Speaking to the press shortly after result declaration, Honorable James Mbahimba thanked the Kasese NRM fraternity for trusting him and promised to serve them diligently.
In the party spirit, and after this I would implore whoever has participated that we remain a family. It will be my responsibility to move to every sub-county to reconcile anywhere where there is a difference so that we can confront opposition as one team.
He promised to preach the gospel of the NRM party from the grassroots up to national level.
NRM. The people of Kasese will support NRM because there are specific issues that we have to address. Number one is to bring the district leadership to the grassroots for its mobilization. Number two is to also bridge the gap with the National Secretariat of NRM, from the district to the National Secretariat.
While speaking to the voters, Dr. Crispus Chiyonga said that the elections should not be regarded as if there is a loser since they all belong to the same family.
Nobody has lost. All of us have won. Why? We have held our peaceful elections. We have elected our members in whom we have no doubt. And we know that they will build on what we have done.
He urged those who have come into leadership to remain free and consult him in case of any challenge.
And I will assure them that they should have no fear. We are all in the same house. When they need us to help, when they need us to advise, we are ready. Advice to them is that they should not have any sense of inhibition.
Honorable Kafude Boaz, who was elected Vice Chairperson NRM Kasese District, promised to cause change by making sure that the NRM regains its glory.
The most important thing is to make sure that we serve them diligently. We have to serve them diligently. NRM must be felt in Kasese District. And this is our struggle, to make sure that we do a very good mobilization to really promote NRM.
Now over to Kamuli, the first Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for East African Community Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, has gone through unopposed as Chairperson Women's League. Kadaga will be deputized by Mastula Namatovo as Vice Chairperson in just the concluded National Resistance Movement LC5 primaries.
Kadaga noted that she will promote women interests and that this was an extra mile to open her long-awaited position of Vice Chairperson Central Executive Committee.
We're going to sit with them as soon as possible so that we can plan, listen to the issues in different constituencies and plan what we are going to do. within the party and what messages we should take to the center. So, and also to remind the Ugandans that I'm still contesting for a position of second national vice chairperson. I'm the inaugural and I'm going to continue being there.
Muhammad Magumba, the NRM presiding officer, noted that the election process was free and fair. Namatovu Mastula said they will do their best to ensure that Kadaga bounces back to her desired position to accomplish the unfinished projects. Basanya Matthew was declared winner of the NRM chairperson seat.
Now, Busia NRM youths expressed joy as one of them, Mwanguzi Isaac, was declared winner of the Busia District NRM chairperson slot. The race started with only 2 aspirants, Engineer Eric Masiga, the incumbent, and Mwanguzi Isaac, commonly known as Omutuki Obwami Hulia.
Ouma Adea, the former district chairperson, Busia took up the mantle to compete with Isaac. Accordingly, Isaac Mwanguzi still beat Ouma Adea with the higher margin of 421 votes against 136 votes.
Youth have been left out, but as you can see, Chairman NRM Busia District elect today is a youth. This is going to pull up all the youth that have been shunned away from the party to get involved in party activities, and we expect 100% of Muzei's vote to come through.
Mwanguzi Isaac is a 36-year-old born in Sichehesel, Masafu Ward in Masafu Town Council, Samiabugo Central Constituency in Busia District. Isaac started his political career as the Secretary Youth Finance at Sichehe Village, joined the Youth League as the Youth Secretary for Masafu Sub-County before it was carved off. This year, Isaac got interest in the NRM elections as the NRM chairperson for Masafu Town Council and went unopposed. Mwanguzi says that despite of the fact that Busia is bigger and divided politically, he promises to unite the people of Busia regardless of the party.
In the office, we shall organize harmonization meetings, barazas, with those ones who have lost, to encourage them and to make sure that we are all one and we support the rules of NRM and the interests of the party, and more so the people of Busia and NRM.
Ouma Adea, the second runners-up, says that there was a lot of vote rigging and distribution of money. Meanwhile, in Rwanda District, Minister Henry Musasizi has emerged victorious in the National Resistance Movement Party mainstream chairperson elections, securing a resounding 503 votes. Musasizi's closest rival, Diaz Drake Owesigire, scored only 43 votes, while Councillor Jackson Tumuoboneire failed to garner a single vote.
And they are still supporting me, and I'm still confident that I will win when I go back.
The results were officially announced by Rwanda District NRM Registrar Mande Agre, who confirmed that Minister Musasizi secured 503 votes. The elections mark a significant moment for the party in Rwanda, affirming Minister Musasizi's standing as a key figure in both local and national political spheres.
Now, Rujumbura County Member of Parliament, Major General retired Jim Mohwezi, has been elected as Rukunjiri District NRM Party chairperson after defeating General Henry Tumukunde, who pulled out of elections citing irregularities.
Seven oye, NRM Rukunjiri oye, oye. Ati kanabira mwana na bashatu
na bana magana abiri na batanu magana abiri na mukaga magana abiri na magana abiri na munani magana abiri na mwenda magana abiri kumi na munani magana abiri kumi na mwenda magana abiri makumi ashatu magana abiri ashatu n'umwe magana abiri ashatu na babiri magana ashatu n'umunani magana ashatu na mwenda magana atanu magana atanu n'umwe magana atanu na babiri magana atanu na bashatu magana atanu na bana magana atanu na shatu magana kaga na bana magana kaga na batanu magana kaga na mukaga magana kaga na bushanu magana kaga na munani magana kaga na mwenda.
Owned by government shall not be one founder, promoter, or other member of the political party or organization. Hold an office in a political party or organization. Seek in public authority. No, sorry, the law is...
Uganda Airlines direct service between London and Entebbe has been hailed as a bold step in bridging global markets, unlocking tourism potential and redefining regional air connectivity. Speaking at the UK-Uganda Business Forum, Uganda Airlines executives and industry stakeholders emphasized that expansion, not contraction, is key to sustainability in aviation.
Just days after Uganda Airlines touched down at London Gatwick for the first time, government and business leaders gathered for the UK-Uganda Trade and Business Forum, looking to chart a new course for bilateral cooperation. Top of the agenda, turning air connectivity into economic opportunity.
The arrival of Uganda Airlines to the UK takes business and cultural ties between our two nations to a new high. It's a big step in breaking down the walls of misinformation and disinformation that have been keeping away some of the UK investors and tourists from Uganda.
And the infrastructure we are doing is not necessarily just for us to connect within the country. And because we are the center of the region, our efforts is to connect to our neighbors and the markets thereof. So we have the investments which we did, the first priority was to connect the borders. Uganda connected to Kenya, we have connected to South Sudan, we have connected to Congo, we connected to Rwanda.
Despite industry norms that may bulk at route expansion during periods of low loads, Uganda Airlines is taking a long-term strategic approach, investing in carefully selected routes with high growth potential. The London-Entebbe route, while initially cost-intensive, is considered strategically vital, according to the airline CEO Jennifer Wamturaki.
Now in our 5th year, we recognize our role as going far beyond transportation. Uganda Airlines is a platform for transformation, for empowering Ugandan businesses to scale, connect globally, and compete at international standards.
The tourism leaders say this route is a game changer. With direct lift off into Entebbe, Uganda can now compete with regional heavyweights in the long-haul leisure market.
Because without airlift, there is no tourism, pure and simple. We've got to be able to enable the visitors to get to the tourism destinations. Now, as mentioned, the UK is Europe's top source market for Uganda, but previously, without the international airlift, it's been lagging behind. But there's a lot of opportunity now because it's going to be a shorter journey. It's going to be easier for people to get to the wonders of Uganda.
And it's not just about passenger yield. The aircraft's belly holds are now a lifeline for exporters from fresh vegetables to other perishable goods which can now hit European shelves faster and fresher. Looking ahead, Uganda Airlines is preparing for the future of aviation, which is sustainability. The airline is now exploring investments in sustainable aviation fuel.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, will hold its annual Prosecutors Symposium this year from 26th to 29th May 2025. The symposium will be held under the theme, Enhancing Collaboration for Effective and Efficient Prosecution. The annual Prosecutors Symposium is a platform for prosecutors to engage and share experiences and ideas with the aim of enhancing Uganda's criminal justice system. 30th May 2025 will be an ODPP team building day for all ODPP staff, wherein they will engage in various team building activities. These events are being held in commemoration of the ODPP's 30th anniversary, themed Celebrating 30 Years of Growing in Excellence in Criminal Prosecutions. Take note that all prosecutors will be out of office during this period. Normal prosecution services will resume on 2nd June 2025. The events are sponsored by the Government of Uganda and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Criminal prosecutions matter.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kapote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kapote deal and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kapote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Techno and MTN. Together, our flash snap is unstoppable. Grab the Techno Camon 40 series and get free 9 GB of MTN data valid for 3 months. Don't wait. Get your Techno Camon 40 today at Techno stores and MTN outlets. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back. In our second segment, over 50 internally displaced people from Nkoko village in Kasese district have camped at the office of the resident district commissioner protesting delays in resolving the long-standing land conflict. Now, the aggrieved residents vowed to not vacate the RDC's premises until their issue is resolved.
Yes, hello.
Had the surveyors from the Ministry of Land to come and open boundaries, of which we have always cried for. The surveyors came, but the office of the RDC has stopped the whole exercise simply because the cattle keepers have said no. Why is a no for the cattle keepers important than the magnitude of people suffering? Men and women, children, women have been abandoned by their husbands in these camps because of the situation there. But now we are crying. This time around we are saying, come on, this is Kasese. This Kasese helped the government to come into power. Our parents fought. Our parents sacrificed their lives to join Mr. President to put this government into his hands. We are saying, let him come out this time.
And we shall continue sensitizing them that they should be patient. Yes. Land matters are not solved in a day. And it is a very big thing. which cannot be solved by the weak district leaders, except the center. There is a ministerial committee, as I've said, appointed by the president. They should come and solve the problem instead of us leaving us to carry a cross which is not ours.
There's nothing which is hard for government. The government will solve the problem of land disputes in Kasese. All the people of Kasese are children of Kasese. Bakonzo, Basongora, Banyabindi, anybody who lives in Kasese belongs to Kasese. And the government wants everyone to be happy in Kasese. So there's no cause for alarm. I know the problem will be solved. There's nothing which is hard for government to solve.
Now, tension arose in Jawa and Kibwangasi Cells villages after 500 residents were served eviction notices in a bitter land dispute with Kibwangasi Secondary School. The residents accused the school management of fraudulently acquiring the land title on more than 100 acres of land, which they have occupied for decades.
The conflict between residents of Jawa, Kibwangasi Cell villages and Kibwangasi Secondary School traces way back to 1984 when locals were asked to offer land for the establishment of a secondary school. According to Jime Masaba, the chairman of Jawa Cell, the land was given to the school on condition that residents would be compensated, a promise that was never honored by the school.
We had an MP called Mr. Honorable Byakika Geresim. Honorable Byakika wanted every Gombolola to have a secondary school. So he came, met the community, and the community decided that the middle point was Mukanga. The secondary school was supposed to be put in Mukanga Primary School. At first they wanted to kill off to destroy the primary school and make it a secondary. That's why you see that the secondary remained where formerly the primary was, and the primary was isolated and brought back this. People from this side were told to give in land, but they wanted to be compensated. But then the government did not have money to compensate them. Instead, they told them to stay where they were.
Ate bali batekawo ekyapa kirabika oba bajja kiro oba bajja ddi kubanga tewali mutuuze yenna eyategeera nti bateesewo ekyapa fe twalaba okulangira nti ery'ettaka liri mu kyapa.
In a meeting convened by Butembo Resident District Commissioner Michael Okrot, both parties still failed to reach concession. In the meeting was the State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, and officials from the Office of the President. The school authorities were represented by Butembo District Education Officer Josephine Kanyi.
Butembo, as a district, tulina amasomero ga secondary gali matano gokka, only 5 against 17 administrative units, sub-counties including town councils. That means we have a gap of 12.
Residents, including descendants of a one, Kezironi Malumba, appealed to the Lands Ministry to intervene and cancel the land title until they are compensated.
We want to remain in our land. We gave them what we gave. When somebody gives you land, if you want, ask.
Dr. Mayanja cited Article 237(8) of the Constitution, which upholds the rights of bona fide occupants, affirming the residents' claims
that the entire title, which was made in the names of the Uganda Land Commission, without the consent and will of the people, was contrary to Section 60 of the Land Act. A title, the Uganda Land Commission or District Land Board cannot allocate to itself land which is owned by other people, authority.
He directed the Commissioner for Land Registration to cancel the land title and ordered for a proper land survey to resolve the dispute.
Therefore, I've directed the Commissioner Land Registration to cancel the entire title of about 120 acres, on which are residing more than 500 people whom the school has been trying to evict.
Jamil Sekaja compiled this report for UBC News.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and all Ugandan embassies have been urged to issue travel advisory to Ugandan nationals and to timely attend to calls from those distressed in outside countries to save nationals from torture resulting from human trafficking. While addressing a press at Parliament, Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs Mwanda Nkunyingi said government needs to explain the loopholes that continue to facilitate human trafficking.
Nanyanjo Kalorine from Rakai is one of the 26 Ugandan nationals who were repatriated successfully from Myanmar. She narrated to the press how she ended up in one of the Chinese parks in Myanmar around October last year and was recruited in the Department of Customer Service, where they worked at gunpoint with no pay.
Osanga computer room omu esobola okutwala abantu nga 2 n'okusoba. Naye mugukolera ku mudumu gwa mundu. Bojjayo obutali bumativu nti toyagala bakukola okuva ku kukukuba ne bakubya amasannyalaze batemako emikono bajjamu enjala batwala mu ddaaka ruumu abakyala babakwata byonna.
Most of these were contacted through social media platforms, while others got to know about these opportunities through friends. Chinese torture and use them to con people from different countries, including Europe. They say they are promised a pay of between $1,200 to $1,500 a month, although this is never paid to them on reaching their destination.
Some of them ask for money, but when we reached there, the Chinese said, we bought you everything, it was their cost. So some of them who ask money here, they just ask for their interest. So I was asked 5 million, which you have to pay first installment. Then
him $30. That is around 100,000 Ugandan shillings. That is on the first withdrawal. He withdraws money. That one we are using Binance, OKX, depending on the country. And when he comes back, that's when he dies. Because you collect money from him every time. All you do is to collect money. But we had a target. A target, you as somebody that is chatting, your target is supposed to be $10,000 per month. Failure to do so, you are punished brutally.
It's like betting. They invest the first money and then you give it back to them. But giving it back to them, you add some amount. So that client is going to get persuaded to add in more money on the next top up. So then when they do the next top up, because the moment you're going to give them money, it's going to have increased on their account. By the third time, when they put the money, they cannot access it to get it.
Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs Mwanda Nkunyingi appreciates international NGOs that came to the rescue of these people, plus the diplomatic efforts of the Uganda High Commission in Malaysia, urging them to reach out to other Uganda nationals still held in various rebel compounds of Myanmar.
The 26 who were repatriated this week, they went to seek for alternative employment. They were fraudulently defrauded with the hope that they would secure alternative employment out there. They landed in rebel compounds in Myanmar, and thank God they are among the few who have been rescued and repatriated back. They have nowhere to start from. They came with nothing, even the ticket. I urge Uganda Ministry of Foreign Affairs and all our embassies to issue travel advisory to Uganda nationals and timely attend to calls from the distressed.
Nkunyingi, on deportation of various EAC citizens from Tanzania, urged Ministry of Foreign Affairs and that of the East African Community Affairs to pick interest in the matter for a diplomatic solution.
The free movement of Ugandans, not only the individual who was held and successfully returned or deported, which we also find concerning, but we also want continuous security of all citizens of East Africa, including security for Uganda nationals, to freely move within the East African community, because the spirit of integration is concerning and must be upheld.
He also urged all foreign diplomats to prioritize talking to their governments and updating them on prevailing issues instead of using unconstitutional establishments. I'm Navka Farida and Dan Lugemwa at Parliament.
Now, halting of donors' support has put Kwanze's Saving Lives and Livelihood project led by AMREF and the Ministry of Health at risk. Beneficiaries at Ntwetwe Health Center 4 praised the integrated approach for offering vaccines and other health services in one visit.
At Ntwetwe Health Center 4, mothers come with their children for vaccinations and other health services during Integrated Child Health Days. The integrated model greatly increased healthcare visits, expanding access beyond just mothers with children under 5.
And one of the services that we are adding on is screening for cancer cervix for the mothers. The mothers bring their children, or the mothers bring themselves. So we use that as an opportunity. Then nutrition, talk about the nutrition of the mother and also of the child. We screen for other chronic conditions like sickle cell disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, especially for the elderly, the mothers who are elderly. We use that opportunity to give a bed net so that the mother is protected and the baby against malaria. But we can also say during immunization, we shall give health education talk on other conditions. We shall give antenatal care, which doesn't need a lot of privacy.
Despite its success, the program's future hangs in the balance, with partners that fund the initiative planning to exit the district.
We learn things like cleanliness, immunization, public health, but we ask government to help us in getting medicines because there is still scarcity. We learn things like cleanliness, immunization, public health, but we ask government to help us in getting medicines because there is still scarcity.
Uganda's immunization program now protects against 14 diseases, helping reduce child death and improve life expectancy.
We also have these cult religions which don't believe in immunization, where they say for us we shall not take our children for vaccination, we are against it. So we have been conducting community dialogue and we have been engaging in their community leaders so that you can see that these people are brought on board and they take up these services. The services have been good, but our only worry is that they have been sponsored by NGOs, which are almost exiting our district.
Immunization is a great chance to offer other health services since it happens often and regularly.
I know immunization helps, but getting medicine is hard since we are sent to clinics. I know immunization helps, but getting medicine is hard since we are sent to clinics. I know immunization helps, but getting medicine is hard since we are sent to clinics. I know immunization helps, but getting medicine is hard since we are sent to clinics. I know immunization helps, but getting medicine is hard since we are sent to clinics.
UBC talked to Mwesije Geoffrey, who we found at Ntwetwe Health Center 4.
It has saved us our money in terms of transport, moving from hospital, going somewhere else to buy the medicine. But here, when you bring the child for immunization, finally you ended up treating some other diseases which are affecting your child or which are affecting you as a person. Only that, the only challenge we have in our hospitals, you can reach there and you find that there is not enough medicine, insufficient health workers, so there is a delay. So we request the government to add us more health workers in order for quick attending of the patient.
However, there are also incidents of people missing vaccinations, hence a call for more sensitization. Matovu Patrick Balongo, a VHT in Chankwanzi, highlighted the problems encountered during the sensitization process.
Many don't show up, others move as pastoralists, and reminders cost 5,000 shillings plus long walks. We teach parents that the medicine is safe and immunization has reduced pneumonia and severe running stomach. Many don't show up, others move as pastoralists, and reminders cost 5,000 shillings plus long walks. We teach parents that the medicine is safe and immunization has reduced pneumonia and severe running stomach. Many don't show up, others move as pastoralists, and reminders cost 5,000 shillings plus long walks. We teach parents that the medicine is safe and immunization has reduced pneumonia and severe running stomach.
Enid Chalinsima is the in charge of all immunizations at Ntwentwe Health Center 4.
And I would like to appreciate our government and our IP, that is AMREF, for funding us to make sure that we move to different villages, different parishes, offering services. During the child days, we have been offering services like deworming to all children between 1 year and below 15 years.
We teach parents that the medicine is safe and immunization has reduced pneumonia and severe running stomach. We teach parents that the medicine is safe and immunization has reduced pneumonia and severe running stomach.
We teach parents that the medicine is safe and immunization has reduced pneumonia and severe running stomach.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, African countries should increase higher education enrollment to boost literacy rates, encourage entrepreneurship, and create wealth across the continent. This, according to Makerere University Vice Chancellor Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, is the only way Africa will manage to position herself as a contributor to develop on the global scene.
According to Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, Vice-Chancellor of Makerere University, Africa's lack of education has led to a blurred global development footprint.
Africa still lags behind in the enrollment in higher education because at the moment, enrollment in higher education is only 6%. That is against the world average of 32%. Countries like Sweden have 80% enrollment. And should we then be surprised that Sweden is always at the top of the Human Development Index?
Professor Nawangwe is advocating for increased enrollment in higher education in Africa, particularly Uganda, to create skilled youth capable of starting solution-based enterprises, leading to socio-economic transformation.
I have been asking the Chinese, how did you manage to move 400 million people out of poverty in 30 years? Some people claimed it is because of investments that came from outside. But I don't think that there is any amount of investment, foreign direct investment, that could move 400 million people out of poverty. It is the spirit of entrepreneurship that now is very prevalent among the Chinese people, that they have moved their people out of poverty. It is you who are going to create jobs for the others by industrializing our country.
Professor Nawangwe advised graduates at Makerere University Business School MOBS to avoid politicking and instead focus on entrepreneurship for development.
In Africa, we spend too much time politicking.
and wonder why the other people whom we admire are progressing. If China had chosen the path of politicking 365 days, where would they be now? Politics alone will not solve our development challenges. We must get to work, and work diligently and passionately.
Earlier, the principal, Makerere University Business School, Professor Moses Muhwezi, asked the graduates to utilize the knowledge acquired for survival.
As citizens that have much needed business education and knowledge, you should be able to seize new opportunities and nurture ideas that will address pressing business challenges. Do something. You have the potential. Your family and your community should at some time appreciate why they sent you to the university.
Among the over 500 graduates is Babide Dorothy, who is physically a little person.
I've graduated in a diploma in business administration at Makerere University Business School Jinja campus. I've taken time at home without schooling, but later I came back for a diploma, but God has helped me to pass through first class.
The other category was of the 11 inmates who did not attend the graduation in person, but through the Commissioner of Prisons, Rehabilitation and Reintegration, Juliet Nantale, received their diplomas and certificates.
Are you a woman with a small-scale business with a dream of growing it to another level? The GROW Project is here to support you in realizing your dream.
The GROW Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
We support women-owned businesses across the country to gain hands-on and business management skills through training within your location, business financing through grants and affordable loans, and infrastructure in your areas of operation to enable you to increase your productivity.
If you have a business that makes sales of up to 800,000 Uganda shillings per month, the GROW Project has the tools and resources to help you succeed. For more information, contact your district or city GROW focal person or call our toll-free line on 0800 307 777 to learn more about how you can benefit from the GROW Project's services.
The GROW Project, empowering women economically, transforming communities.
I'd like to thank all our clients, our valued taxpayers, the people that we serve as we collect revenue for building our nation. I thank you very much for the questions you have sent through this program of Buza Commissioner. On behalf of URA, I would like to pledge that we are committed and we will continue to answer all the questions that you ask through this platform. The whole purpose for this program is to ensure that your pain points, your questions are efficiently responded to. So I would like to encourage all our taxpayers who have questions to ask to please utilize this program that we are running on UBC, that will be receiving your questions through the numbers that you've been given, and URA will be available to answer these questions every Monday and every Wednesday during the 8 o'clock news bulletin. And then on Sunday, after the news, we'll have a full response to all the questions that will have come in during the week. I thank UBC for supporting us in reaching our taxpayers, and I thank our taxpayers for responding positively to this program. Thank you very much.
Buza Commissioner.
Now into the world of business, participants in coffee value chain have agreed that it's time for Uganda to industrialize and add value to its coffee and export finished product. Now, during the African Business Forum on Coffee at Africa Coffee Park in Ntungamo district, the experts say this will increase the country's income from the green gold and create more jobs for the citizens.
Rwashamire village in Ntungamo district was this Friday a center of attention as experts in coffee gathered to deliberate on matters in coffee under the Africa Business Forum. This has been organized by the CEO of Africa Coffee Park, Nelson Tugume, the first ever value addition on coffee by a Ugandan businessman. Tugume says he was inspired to come up with the idea of value addition because value addition is the only way Uganda can earn more effectively from her coffee.
Industrial revolution by Britain Americans to bring it back to Africa, for young people to appreciate that the only way to get jobs, create jobs, have a better life is using our raw materials and turning our raw materials to better products.
The park that hosts a modern factory for value addition in coffee is seated on the slopes of the beautiful Rwashamire Hills and will also act as a tourist center for coffee being designed by Uganda Bati.
We've probably provided 90% of the infrastructure that you see at Inspire Africa Group. Why? Because we have heavily invested in research and development of modern steel building. And that's what we are doing here. And I think you've seen most of the modern infrastructure that you see here has been provided by Uganda Bati. We have heavily invested in design. We design, we detail.
The experience of coffee. A couple of people may not have understood what we're trying to do. Probably they think we just have a coffee processing plant. We want to create an experience. I can tell you something, if we only attracted 1 million coffee tourists coming here in Uganda and each spending $2,000, that's 2 billion in coffee tourism only.
With support from the government, the proprietor urges government to continue supporting private-led investments.
We admire other countries that have created. We must do it ourselves. It's time for now for Africa, it's time for action.
The participants commended the proprietor for Uganda's first ever coffee value addition factory.
As trade bloc, I know you didn't talk about opening borders, but the African Continental Free Trade Area had key clauses that also touched onto the rules of origin.
And PAC has not only brought development to this area, it is an African thing. It's an African grain that we should focus ourselves on too, so that it can develop us better.
The forum will climax on Saturday with a marathon and a performance by Tanzania's and Africa's star musician Diamond Platnumz. Philip Aguta and Stephen Kalisia for UBC News in Ntungamo.
As we look at cricket in sports, as they continue to steward the growth and development of cricket in the country, the Uganda Cricket Association received a boost to their effort in form of cricket equipment from its long-standing partners, Bankstown District Cricket Club, BDCC, of New South Wales, Australia. The equipment shipment that was received last evening by the Uganda Cricket Association General Secretary Dennis Musali had vital sporting gear like the tough roller, wicket covers, t-shirts, balls, bats, pads, gloves, thigh guards, abdominal guards, helmets, and coaching lecture. These equipments, according to the General Secretary, will go a long way in supporting the association's grassroots and development programs that directly benefit the players and coaches.
Or train properly and for competitions that are organized by Uganda Cricket. So what this equipment does is help us, we extend this equipment to schools who are critical development partners, in enabling them equip the youngsters with the right skills, as well as learn how to play cricket the right way. Yeah, we want to say a special thank you to the chairman of Bankstown, John Murray, and the secretary, Martin Clamp, who have been instrumental in ensuring that the equipment comes down to Uganda. And also to say a big thank you to our chairman, Mr. Jackson Kavuma, who personally went down to Australia last year to make sure that he meets the leadership of Bankstown Cricket Club, who have been responsible for this relationship and making sure that equipment comes to Uganda. It's going to be distributed to the different development partners that we have, the sports hubs in the 6 regions of Uganda Cricket, but as well as to the schools that compete in our competitions.
Thank you very much for sticking with us right from 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. It has been a great time sharing my space with you. From the entire news team, it's a good night, but UBC programming continues. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.